Rachel. How
Hello.
are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Fantastic. You can hear me, by the way?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, because I was kind of prompted that my mic was muted, or maybe it was
Oh,
muted because of the intro. Yes, that was the reason why. It was actually made on purpose. It was not a bug. It was a feature, as we say. So we are back today for another session. We have still 3 sessions to go approximately before we push this thing live to your domain.
woohoo.
Yes, that would be quite a moment after a bit more than 2 months of work and a lot behind the scenes, as you know. But we want to show to the people watching this video today how to integrate new blog posts inside of the site. So what I will do is go to the blog post section. So if you remember, we have a few custom post types like the digital products, the food items, the shop products, even now the YouTube videos that we edit, and the blog posts are in post. So if I go to the blog post, to all posts, I will see all the current posts, 3 of them, and I will add a new one. So in another tab, and maybe I will just bring it here and share it. So share
And
this.
real quick though, so this screen is Gutenberg, or this screen is WordPress,
Yeah.
but then if we want to edit it, we want to go to edit with Elementor.
No, actually, so the blog posts, and that's specific to this type of of post type that we have on the website.
Mhm.
We create the content, the body, the main section of the post inside of Gutenberg,
Okay.
and then it's taken over by a template in Elementor. But if we want to edit the content, so the title, the paragraphs, and the images, the inline images inside of the blog post itself, we do it in Elementor, in Gutenberg. And then for the look and feel of everything surrounding the body, so the little avatar for the author, the sharing buttons, the email sign up at the bottom, and all those things, that's part of an Elementor template which is surrounding the body, and the body is part of it, is
Okay.
an ingredient of it.
Makes sense.
So I have here something that was prepared in
Google Doc.
Google Doc, which is inspired by one of your videos. So that's the
Mhm.
reason why there are screen grabs from the videos that were added here. And I assume that those here red sections would be linked, but the links were not added by the person who created the.
No, yeah, so I had help from someone to basically transcribe a video into a blog post that I made, and she highlighted those in red as potential SEO optimized keywords.
Ah,
Potentially, it was her interpretation of it. So they're not. We can keep it all black.
yeah. So they're not meant to be hyperlinks to.
Correct. No, no, they are not.
Okay. So yeah, there are multiple ways to see it. I mean, we can try the quick and dirty way and see if it will work, which would be to take everything besides the table of content, because the table of content is auto-generated by WordPress. So okay, let's take this for the title first. So I just move this back here. So I'll just copy this for the title. I will also probably use it for the focus key phrase for the SEO, and I will just remove this and put it for the title that can be shown on Google.
And then when it shows red, that's when I need to go back and.
When it will show red by default at the moment because there's no content on the page, so it
Got it.
considers that it's a bit weak at the moment. There's no images, no content. And we don't have any meta description at the moment yet.
Mhm.
The URL, the slug here, if I save the draft, it will be directly generated based on the title, so that's
Mm,
fine.
yeah.
I have to change the
I
category.
guess add a new category if that's the way to do it, and then we would just call this pet finds, and then I could do all blogs that are talking about like products,
It's
pet products. I think would be better. Yeah.
a product.
There we go.
Yeah, so we add it. Just make sure always that there is a category and not uncategorized. Otherwise, it's a bit messy if it's
Okay.
uncategorized. You can have multiple categories and choose one of those as a primary category, like here, for instance, if we have two of
Okay.
them. But for this one, it's pet. I always remove the comments and the pingbacks. Pingbacks, it's something that was inherited from the early days of WordPress, when there was some kind of a community in WordPress between site owners, and if someone would mention an article in this community, um, the author of the article would receive a notification, a ping back, that someone basically mentioned them on their own WordPress site. But that's kind of old stuff that's not really used anymore, and it's even a door that can be open for some hackers or some scammers. So usually we remove that. And the
Okay.
comments, same for the comments, because even if you have with your host or with your or with a plugin, some sort of a anti-spam solution, usually if you leave comments open, it's also a door open to spammers. So
Mm.
just remove the comments. Some
Yeah.
people, they add they can add a plugin, an external plugin, which is a bit more secured for comments like discuss or something like that, that can be added to WordPress. But most of the people I see with WordPress sites today, they just close the comments. So that's usually what people do, from what I see. So now we have to add the content, the body itself. So let's come back here. Okay, we could try to copy basically everything here and see if it will take the images or together. There's a bit of formatting already with, I see that with the headline, so I'm not sure if it will be transposed or not, but I can just copy it. So Command C, and then I go Command V and see what it gives. Let's see. Okay, so
Oh.
seems all right. But then I want to see if
Oh, the H2.
no, but that's okay. That's easy to change. But I just want to see what it will do with the images.
Looks like it's loading them.
Yeah, but we don't want to reference them from elsewhere. We want them to be added to the site. So
Oh, true.
hopefully it's adding them to the library. I can have a look while it's doing this thing in the media library and make sure that it's adding them.
And later, we don't have to do it now. For a video or a blog like this, I could link those images really to the shop page, to the product, because all those products would be on the shop page, and that could be
Yeah,
easy to do.
you can add inside of the article an hyperlink straight from the images. Yes, and also because it's probably not the case by default, we should. Yeah, apparently it's adding the images, so it's fine.
Oh,
But
wow.
as you can see, they're called image one, image two, image three,
Mm.
image four. So probably the meta, and we'll have a look of those images here. If I just click on one of them, block advanced. Okay, where is it? They're not loaded yet completely, as we can see. But okay, I'm gonna save the draft to see if it pushes them. It's a lot of images. It's a lot of images at the same time, so it's a bit hardcore.
We're
Ooh,
breaking WordPress.
yeah, we're breaking the WordPress.
Breaking the internet today.
Let's let's reload it. It's okay. Can retry. But apparently they were added, but yeah, as an empty attribute, blah blah blah. Okay. whatever. Remove image. We'll remove the images and maybe find them back in the media library. Okay.
And I can go back and add
I mean,
those. You know, we don't have to do that here because
yeah,
I didn't
to be fair,
necessarily love all the screenshots that were added anyways.
yeah, to be fair, when just in terms of workflow, when you're creating an article like that, it's fine to prepare it in a Google Doc. No problem with that. But ideally, you should have the images elsewhere, like
Okay.
in a Dropbox or a Google Drive, and upload them separately. And then when you're um, when you're adding your article, you just insert them from the gallery. Also, to just make sure that they're not just called image one, image two, image
Yeah.
three, because from an SEO perspective, it doesn't help if they are called like that.
Mhm.
So now I think I've removed all of them. Let's see. Yeah, now it's
Nice.
fine. Okay, but I have to. Yeah, what I would do is open this in another tab on my other screen, because I have to look at the images to add them. But maybe we'll do a couple of them, and then you can do the other ones yourself.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe we just do 1 or 2 because I'm probably gonna switch out the images anyways.
Yeah.
I don't like the black bar and stuff that they added, but,
Yeah. So
anyways, yeah.
let's add an image to see how it goes. So I'm gonna find the image, because I know where it is. That's this one, even if you change it later. But you see the problem with this strategy, I would say, to copy them straight from the Google Doc, is that it's called image tree. Doesn't help. I mean, it was probably also called image tree by the person who did it. So instead of calling it Banana Bytes Doc Treat, which would have been the best way to do it, you see,
Yeah.
Banana Bytes Doc Treat.
Oh, your screen didn't switch over.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
That's okay.
So yeah, I have added the image from
Okay, perfect.
there. So Banana Byte Doc Treats, because it was image one, image two, image three. So yeah, you've got to make sure that it's the right one. I haven't checked, because we talked about this for your own page. I haven't checked the weight of those images, but I can do that now. So if I go here in the media library, so that's the
Mhm.
image.
Mhm.
If I have a look, it's 940K. It's already a lot. As I said, it's better if you try to limit yourself to 500 kilobytes max, even 400
500.
per image, especially for an image like that, because it's not like the hero header of your site. You don't need like a big image to insert it in a blog post. And you can imagine that if you have 10 images of almost 1 megabyte in the blog post, it takes 10 megabytes to load the whole blog post. So you're
Mm,
basically killing the mobile plan of anyone trying to open the page.
okay.
So you have to really minimize the weight of the images. So regarding the title, so you go to the title, you highlight it, and you change it from paragraph to heading, and just make sure it's an H2, because the title here it's an H1 status, so the other ones will be H2. So
Mhm.
we can do another H2 here. Um, Basically, you just go through
Each
them,
one.
and
Yeah.
you add the
Would
H2.
it be secure if I had somebody helping me to transcribe my videos into blogs,
Yeah.
would it be secure if I added them to WordPress just as an author and then they could input them in here, not publish it, and then I could come back, review this, just to save me this step,
Yeah.
and then I could is that secure to do to give
Yeah,
them just
yeah.
like
If
author
they are
access?
an
Okay.
author, they have limited rights, so they can't have access to all the
Okay.
admin part. And you just have to set the role when you add the user to maximum author. You've got 3 roles under admin. You've got subscriber minimum. You've got author number 2, and then you've got editor. But it's enough if you need to create in draft an article and upload images, it's enough to be an author. So you can add them as author. So yeah, so I leave you the pleasure to finish this.
Yeah, I can finish that.
In the end, it's always nice because otherwise it's stuck to the next section to add something called a spacer, something like this.
Mhm.
And sometimes inside of the article itself, um, it's also nice when you look at it after it's published to have some spacer inserted if you don't want the elements sticking to each other inside of the article, but it's almost there. Okay, also because it was not prepared, you see the SEO is getting there. So pet product, I will change it here. You need a featured image. So you need what we chose for the featured images, but you can change it. It
Right.
was to have some text and an illustration. That's what we had, if you remember,
Mhm.
and a secondary image, which is more like a dog alone or something like that, which will be used for some other places where we have a feed of posts. So let's say that I just find a dog here. Of the first dog, we already have a lot of images, but
I know, I'm now worried if these are all too big, but we'll just have to.
yeah. So let's say, okay, just wanted to find uh, just an image to show this concept of a, yeah, for instance, this thing. So okay, this image and then the featured image. Okay, let's create very quickly a featured image so we understand also what we're talking about. So in another tab, bear with me, I will open, because I think we had something in green. Yeah, I've got something there that we did some point for a block. Okay, boom, let me open Canva. So you see we had this kind of image. So viral Amazon pet finds. We call it viral Amazon pet finds. And by the way, also for all of the other pages that were created, like the dog food page or the digital downloads, or all those pages that are somewhere on the website,
Mhm.
you should ideally have a featured image that would be attached to the page, because if someone, for instance, shares the digital downloads page, so directly, the one that you can access from somewhere on
Yeah.
this, if there is no featured image attached to that, um, it will by default take the first big image that's on the page and use it as an image on Facebook or elsewhere. So you should theoretically always set a featured image for any page that's on your site. That's the best practice. It's a bit of work, but you should do that. For people who publish a lot of blog posts, there are a few softwares um, that enable you to create automatically dynamic images for each blog post based on the title and some templates. So you've got things like Banner Bear, for instance, Banner Bear. It's connected to the site, and each time someone publishes a post, it will create this kind of image if you have a template like this with the title of the post. So it saves you, for people who are publishing a lot of blog posts, it can save you a lot of time to automatically create the featured images. So that's done in a way. I mean,
Oh,
uh,
we wanna switch and then
yeah. Sorry,
that's
I've
okay.
just I've just published here the
Okay.
featured image. So now we're good. Let me just have a look at how it looks on the other side. So on the front end. So yeah, it's the same tab.
Okay, and the table of contents is automatic. Is that show on mobile as well? I think that's what we did.
On mobile, yes, it's on mobile
Yes.
there. Yeah,
Oh god,
yeah.
that looks so good. And that's so technically that's all I'd have to really do. Everything else, it's a template. So it's
This is a template. So if at some point you want to change something there, I don't know. For instance, you've got a brand deal with someone and you want to add on all your blog posts in the side column, like a banner here under the table of content, you would edit the blog post
blog
template.
post.
And then you
Okay.
would have you would have this banner showing on all the blog pages, for instance. Or if at some point you just want to change the structure. But as you can see, we already have by default your name linked to your about me page. Here
Yep.
it's the sharing button.
Mhm.
And then we've got the body with proper padding between also because I have some rules, above and below the
Mhm.
H2s, so it's already there baked in by default, but you still have to change the other H2s. And then we have the the email widget, and we have related posts which are theoretically based on the category.
Category. So I think with this one, the only and I love how it has previous. The only things I would add here, we don't have to necessarily do now, but like on the sidebar, adding an email sign up widget there, just so it's at the bottom and the side, so that if somebody, which I guess I'm thinking desktop first. I'm thinking for mobile.
Yeah, because there won't be any sidebar on
Yeah, it would just be more in the middle. Okay,
you
so that's
can,
probably
yeah, you can. Let's say, for instance, that we open the blog post, so we can have a look at the template. Um, let's open this.
and then a button that would go back to all blog posts, right? Like at the bottom, I guess that would be the related. That would take them to more related.
The related would go to other ones, yes. But okay, so here we've got this section, this widget, so
Yeah.
we can duplicate it theoretically if it wants to work. Uh, okay, I can duplicate that, and I could. Okay, let me just go directly to this guy, progress tracker in a section. Where is it? Post content. Okay, so that's the post content, for instance. That's what I was saying, the body.
Mhm.
Um, and here, column form. Okay, theoretically, that's the one I'm talking about. Yeah, and for some reason, it doesn't want to. I mean, it should be duplicatable. Okay, I'm just
Oh,
duplicating the column, and now we see. So where is this? Okay, so it doesn't want to do it. That's interesting because theoretically I should be able to duplicate also my. Oh yeah, but maybe because it's a global thing. Okay, let me rewind. Okay, we started there. I will go here. Table of content. Okay, where is my column? Okay, there. And here I've got my module global. Okay, I've got my newsletter sign up form.
oh,
I will try to grab it from there and put it there. Yeah, okay. Should appear there. Okay,
there it is.
it's there, but it's funny because we didn't want this thing is not meant to be sticky, or is it? Wait. Motion effect. Ah, yeah,
Sticky top.
it's sticky at the top. Yeah, it's sticky at the top with 300 offset. Ah, yeah. So we made the sidebar, so the progress bar and the this thing the table of content, we made it sticky so it sticks all the time on the side of the blog post when you scroll down. which
Mhm.
means that if we want to add something under it, like this thing, I will unlink it because I have to change. As you can see, there's too much padding, or yeah, there's too much on the right and on the left, so I have to remove it. See, so it is like that.
Yay.
But it has also to stick,
Oh.
otherwise it will go under it.
So we had to make it sticky too.
Yeah, and maybe even put it there. So
Oh, then it holds it up there.
yeah, but okay, so I need to go to motion effect. So that's where we put the stickiness thing at the top, so it will stick.
Oh.
But then you see, you've got to make the table of contents stick, but with an offset, which is this widget, so that it sticks, but after the widget, if you
Yeah.
understand what I mean.
Mhm,
So
I do.
I have to change this, and I've got to change the offset. We can try 600 and see. No, sorry, the effect offset. So this one, more like 100, I guess. We're getting there.
Close.
You see?
Yeah.
So that
Look
then
at that.
it sticks under it. So now we've got this there. You see? So if I try to go back, let me see to check that it's working, because I'm just opening a new one. I will just share this tab. Okay, and maybe I have to also, yeah, we've got it there. Okay, but you see now, we've got to, okay, let's remove this guy. Now it's okay.
Cool. And then okay, do you think it would be beneficial to have a button at the bottom that says even, like, under the table of contents, it just says view all blogs, or is that just, like, too much?
But under the table of content would be a very difficult concept, because that's why I moved the
Oh, I see what
offset
you're saying.
on top,
I mean, I
because
guess at the
I know
bottom of
how much I
the
have to offset, because
yeah.
it's a fixed aid, the sign up widget, but I do, but this one is dynamic based on the amount of H2s. So I don't know which value I would need to have to offset. You know, understand what I mean?
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
So,
Um, and then would that the how would the newsletter look in if we look at this in mobile view, what would this look like?
if at this stage, it would probably be, I guess, twice at the bottom. Yes. So
Oh.
we have to remove it actually on mobile. We have to hide it on mobile, because this column, it's column number 2,
Mhm.
it's going after column number 1. So that's why we have another table of content here, as you can see. You see? Sorry,
Ah.
I'm sharing the tab. So we have a
One for mobile, one for
yeah,
desktop, or one for
yeah.
desktop, tablet. Yeah.
This one is for mobile, that's why it's grayed out. And for
Yeah.
mobile, we put the table of content before the content, whereas on desktop, it's in the sidebar and it's
Mhm.
hidden on
Mhm.
mobile.
Okay.
So so this thing should be, but I'm just trying to see if we can do it maybe at the, yeah, we can just do it at the column level, so the column doesn't show on mobile. So that way, if we go on mobile, okay, let me just update this and refresh this and share the tab.
Mhm.
Theoretically, all the column will disappear on mobile. So if I try to shrink it, so see, now I've got the table of content and I've got the other widget here, but I don't have any extra widgets. It's fine.
Perfect. Yeah, that's too much to do. Perfect. And then one question, this is actually for the whole site, is it easy to add a back to top button on both mobile and desktop at the
Yeah,
bottom of
it's there already. You see?
where?
Here at the bottom. You see the bottom? Where my
Uh-uh.
mouse is? Oh, you don't see it?
No.
What do I share now? Oh, it's maybe it's behind our pictures on the screen.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay, well then there
here,
you go. I
you
just
see,
didn't
you got my
see.
mouse there.
Oh, I do see it. I do see it. Okay.
You see here.
Oh, look at look at
So
that.
just to explain what it's doing. So basically, it's just a piece of text at the bottom. It's just a headline at the bottom,
Okay.
which is connected to the header. So what I did was that in the header section, so if I open the header section, there is the advanced tab for the section,
Mhm.
and in the advanced tab for the section, I named it, if I remember well, uh, I named it top section. You see, top section.
Got it. And then when you click it, you almost link it to the top
Yeah,
section.
yeah. It just boom goes straight to the top section, and we have the
I love
same
it.
for mobile because here the grayed
Yeah.
out thing is the mobile menu
Cool.
doing the same. Yeah,
This is so exciting. Okay, now I know how to put up blog posts, and that's going to be where most of my time is spent. Once this,
yeah.
with this site, really, is just adding on more blogs, more digital downloads, and the guides and things. So that's awesome.
And as
Um,
we saw for the important bits for the blog post to remind you of the important bits is
okay,
uh, is even if you ask someone to directly work inside of WordPress, just make sure that those images are properly labeled and not named image 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
got it.
You see, we want really something. Even when you're using an image like more for an illustration, like you, the
Yeah,
arrows, just say that there is a dog and a photographer on the image, because you
right.
never know if someone searches on Google Images for dog and photographer or photography of a dog, they
Yeah,
might see then your picture and click on the picture, and this is a visit for your site. Whereas nobody is looking for image one on Google.
perfect.
So yeah, that's important.
And then I guess thinking of the email sign up, like, should we go over Brevo or is
Yeah,
that a good?
we can have a look at what it is. So each of those email widgets
Mhm.
has multiple actions after submission. So multiple things happening after submission. So when you're using a form from Elementor,
Mhm.
you've got in the content part, you've got an option called actions after submit. So it's basically what it will do when someone, for instance, here puts their email inside of the field. It will collect the submissions. So that's in Elementor behind the scenes. You've got a list of submissions. That's fine. It's a backup if you want. There is an email which is sent to your email saying someone signed up. You can deactivate it if there are too many emails, but it's just a confirmation that someone signed up. It sends you the content of the form. Here it's just the email. And it sends you also the page from which it was sent, depending on where the widget is. And then you can add some other stuff. So you have here the direct connections. Okay, that's where you had, I think, MailerLite at
Mhm.
some point, because there was this discussion between, and I don't think, yeah, that Prevo, no,
Or it might be
between
SendinBlue, but
MailerLite and SendinBlue, or which is named Brevo now. But we needed a solution for the outgoing email notifications of the website, because when you create a WordPress site, you can try to rely on your host to send via the PHP the email notifications to the admin, notifications when someone like this signs up. I mean, all the notifications sent by the site. You can by default say, okay, I just rely on my host, but in 90% of the cases it doesn't work. So you have to put an SMTP plugin to handle the outgoing emails, so going out of your website. And we chose for that purpose SendinBlue, which is now called Brevo. Uh, but the fact is that SendinBlue is also offering, that's their core product, by the way, all the email marketing side of things. So to just create your lists and your email campaigns, create all the automations around emails. So we didn't need to have a duplicate solution, MailerLite and Brevo SendinBlue. So the solution we decided to keep is Brevo / SendinBlue. But if you want to connect or to send directly your signups to Brevo, you will need then to go through a solution, an intermediate solution. It can be Zapier or it can be Make. You signed up for Make. So what happens then is that we set up a webhook. So here, webhook. Okay. So for each of those widgets, we will set up a webhook. And in the webhook here, we will put a webhook that we can get from Make. So I would just show the demo with my own Make account, and then after that we can do it with your own Make account because I've got access. It's easy, but it's the same concept, so it would be easy. And I already have, I think, a scenario which is prepared. Have you ever used Make in your life?
No, I'm familiar with Zapier, which I know it's the similar.
Yeah, same concept.
And I've done automations, like with my email right now, I have automations where when somebody signs up, they get a welcome email, and then I have a drip campaign. And I know it's not the same, but it's kind of a similar
concept.
If X plus Y, then Z or something.
Yeah. So we do an example here with Brevo. So Rachel email sign up to Brevo. So basically, when you create a new scenario in Make, you can add modules. So we start with a webhook module. So I could start from scratch, but I already have one from one of the past tests that we ran. So here I've got a webhook module. So I have here a webhook that I can use. I can share the URL because I'll kill it later. So I can just copy this webhook here to my clipboard, and then I come back to the other tab for the setup of the widget. So I just paste the webhook there. That's it. Just paste the webhook. I update this. Okay. And then I come back here to see what happens. So let me see. I will do redetermine the data structure. So I clicked on something which was called redetermine the data structure. So this thing now is waiting for the webhook to be fired. So it's waiting for something happening with the webhook. So the way I will test this is just, and I will open it again on this side. So I will open the page of one of those blog posts. So I've got my sign up for my newsletter here. Okay. So I will do whatever. It can be test@mail.com. Then I'm going to sign up. Okay. And if I come back here to Make, you see it said successfully determined.
Okay.
So it means that it now knows what's coming from the webhook. It's a very easy one here because you just have one field, the email, but you can have a contact form also transferred via a webhook with a first name, a last name, address, message, email. So you first need to create a webhook, put it in the action after submission in the form widget, then test live filling out one of those forms to determine the structure so that Make knows what to expect from the transfer of the webhook. And then when it is done, when this is successfully determined, then you can start adding anything after that. So we don't use MailerLite. We will use SendinBlue. It's still called SendinBlue in Make, but the brand is now Brevo. This is my connection for my account, but it would be the same for you. So you choose SendinBlue, then you choose create a contact. You see, there's a lot of stuff there that you can do, including sending emails or sending SMS directly from an automation. But what we want here is create a contact. So then you have to create a connection to your account. So I already have a few connections to multiple accounts on SendinBlue. Then the only thing you need to do, because it's mandatory, it's to assign the email from what you received from this widget here, the webhook. And as you can see, the second one is an email. There's no label in the form, but it's an email, no label email. Okay, here. Then if you had some other stuff, here is just the structure is just all those fields. It's because I've got those fields in my own SendinBlue account for one of the clients. But you might have just name and first name and SMS and telephone or whatever. You can create custom fields in Brevo, in SendinBlue. If you had those pieces of data coming from the form, like the first name and the last name, you would also do the same. Like just click on the data that was recognized by the webhook, and just put it there.
Okay.
When it's over, you just click OK, and it's done. And if you activate the scenario, it will be automatically, here in this case, sent to the correct list in SendinBlue, because you've got to choose the list also. It's at the bottom, probably here. Yeah, you see you've got multiple lists here that you have on your account. That's my list. You just pick the list where you want to store the email. Because you might have multiple lists, like you might have a list where you want to store the people coming from the dog food thing, from the digital downloads, from the member press. You see, even if they are all stored on SendinBlue, on Brevo, you reorganize them in different lists. So when you have your scenario, you assign them to a list. And the cool thing is that it's not like Zapier, which limits you to a certain amount of scenarios, even with the Pro account. Here you can create gazillions of scenarios if you want. So if you want a specific scenario for a specific form, for a specific campaign or whatever, you just create a scenario. And a scenario, here it's a simple one. It's just action reaction. You receive data, you push it to SendinBlue. But then you can here decide to connect a Google Sheet, for instance. So you can connect a Google Sheet where you would like to store all of your data also, or you can connect a CRM, or you can connect anything you want. So it can be very sophisticated, but it's very easy to see what's going on. It's just going from here to there, and when you test, you see the data flowing here. You see it's moving when you test it. So yeah, that's basically the same concept as Zapier, but a bit more flexible, I would say, and cheaper to use for a lot of scenarios. So that's why I prefer to use it. And very reliable, very, never breaks. So it's pretty cool.
Okay. And then then the data, then basically offline, I would just connect my Brevo or SendinBlue to Make. That way it can upload all of the contacts into SendinBlue or Brevo. Okay.
The first connection, the first time actually you add a widget like this widget SendinBlue, you will have to connect the account the first time, and then the connection will be available to any scenario that you create. So you don't need to go anywhere inside of Make to connect it before you start creating the scenario. You just dive into the scenario immediately, and once it's been connected once, you can just use it in multiple scenarios. That's how you do it. So instead of just picking one of the connections, you would click on add here, you see? It would add a connection. And then it will just prompt you, I think, to use an API key or to log in with login and password from your account. It depends on the service, but it's usually something like, if I click here, what happens? Hey, it's the API key, you see? So you just grab one of the API keys that you create on SendinBlue, you put it there, and you give your connection a name, and you click on save, and the connection is there. You see? And once you are connected, you will see there at the bottom all of your lists. So the list you have to create them in advance on Brevo, SendinBlue,
Okay.
so that they are available to just store the data there. I would say that in your case, you would have lists for digital products, for email signups, and maybe for MemberPress, for everything coming from MemberPress. So all
Yeah.
the content. So that then when you look at your data inside of Brevo SendinBlue, if you look at the list and the list numbers, you have a clear view of what's coming from where. Even if you obviously you can shoot an email to everyone. So you can at some point when you run your email campaign, you can just say I want to send to, and then you click this list, this list, this list. I will deduplicate the users. So if you have one user in multiple lists for some reasons, it won't send two emails. Obviously, it will deduplicate based on your selection. But it's just a way to organize the data.
Right.
You see,
Makes sense.
so
Yeah.
you've got to create the list on SendinBlue. So
Okay.
that's the way it's done. So we've got this one. If you let me come back here, so this widget here that we put on the side in the sidebar, because we had to change the padding left and right, it was disconnected from the what we call the global widget. But here we've got at the bottom, coming back here, so we've got the other widget, this one. Okay, so this one, we have not unlinked it. It's still a global widget. And to tell you, it's the same widget as the one that we use, for instance, on the home page. So if you set up the webhook for the widget here, it will
Mhm.
be already set up also
Got
for
it.
the one that's used on the home page. So
Because it's a global.
because it's a global one. So
Yeah.
it's the same concept. So here we remove MailerLite. So we have to add webhook, and you just had the webhook there. And by the way, you can use the same webhook as the one that we used here for this guy
Okay.
here. You don't have to set up a webhook for each of those different email widgets. Uh,
Okay.
you just use the same. So that's for the form widgets. I think we have another form widget on the contact page.
Mm.
Um, it's if we want also to store the people from the contact page inside of SendinBlue, even if you put them in a separate list because they're not.
Real quick though, you see how when you click on it, sometimes it doesn't like highlight it. I've been noticing it like will take a minute to like. I don't know if it's just loading slow or because we haven't published it yet.
Which one? This thing?
Yeah, well, it's not doing it now, but when I first go to the site and then I try to click on it, sometimes like it won't highlight.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Maybe, but
probably because we haven't published it
yeah.
yet.
Okay,
So with the contact me,
so
this
the
is
contact
it the same global widget or
Oh, that's another one because this one, as you see, it's first name, last name, and your
oh, got
email.
it.
That's another thing. By the way, I've just noticed that we should have some kind of a
Oh, padding.
padding there. So I'm going to open the page. So when the structure of the form is not the same, so here
Mhm.
it's first name, last name, and email, you should create another webhook. So the way you create another webhook is you just start another scenario in Make and you pick a webhook widget for the first webhook,
Mhm.
and it will give you another URL that you can initiate in the same way as I did. So I will show it in a second just to demo it. But here, let's maybe just put some margin on top of the section. I will do the trick. Yeah, that's it.
Nice.
And here we've got a form. So the form, same concept, actions after submit, webhook. Okay.
And
Uh,
then you could copy and paste the same
no, not the same because
because
it's
it's a different
structure,
columns.
or a data structure.
Yeah.
So I will just demo it by going into my account and just show from the get-go how we create a new scenario. So when you create a new scenario, That's a new scenario. There's
Mhm.
nothing. There's just a big plus there. You click on the big plus, and then you search in the application for webbook.
Mhm.
Webbook. You've got here webbooks. You click, and don't make the mistake to choose the Mailhook. You choose the webbook, the second
Mm.
webbook, not Mailhook, webbook. So webbook. Okay, here you've got to either choose one of the ones that you already have or add a new one. You add a new one. So you call it, for instance, a contact form. Okay. Then it gives you a URL. You see the URL there?
Mhm.
Gives you a URL. You copy the URL to your clipboard. You come back to the page there. You just put it there. You
And
you
then
have to put your own, but
yeah.
so you put it there. So now we just save it. Okay. Now what I will do is I'm just opening another page and I will test it. So I will just say Fred. Okay, and I'll just put fred@mail.com. Okay, hopefully there's no one called Fred Mail. It doesn't send anything, but so sign up. Boom, thanks for signing up. So now if I'm coming back to make, you see
Mhm.
successfully determined.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So now same concept, I add SendinBlue. SendinBlue. They will probably be rebranded in the platform Bravo, but I don't think that it's already Bravo in the platform. No, it just needs to. They just change the branding. So okay, SendinBlue. Now you say create a contact. So I've got already a connection. That's fine. So it's asking me for the email. You see, I've got the email.
Email.
Okay. But here, as you can see, I've got some other stuff. I've got first name and last name because it was in the data. So it's in French here, but name is last name, first name is first name. So now I can add those, those pieces of data, choose a list at the bottom. I've got my list, and then do OK, finished. You see?
Okay. Yeah.
And so now it's transposed. And obviously, ideally, you would have created a list called contact form or something like that.
Contact forms. I know where it's coming from.
Mm.
Um, back on the website, is there? I think we added it before, but like since like there's to add like a little privacy, like a little text at the bottom before their sign up says.
Yeah, that was for we added that for MemberPress, but we can also add it to this.
Is that just an Elementor?
Yeah, it would be something in the structure in the form fields. So it would be. Let me see. Just is there an option? There might be an option actually, because otherwise, no, but it would be before the sign up, which is fine. So form field, item. So in the item, we have something probably called acceptance. So you see here, there's a little
Aha, perfect.
feeling.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
here it's not. It's by contacting me. You're added to my email list.
Perfect.
You can, just like that. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, I like to keep it,
Yeah. And so that way, if they have to, and we put it required, so they have to tick it before they click on sign up.
Yeah. Cool.
So
Um,
that's this thing.
and then I know we're close on time, but real quick on the dog food list page,
Yeah.
the um the drop down, yeah, that one. Doesn't that I added the drop down that one, but it's not or you added it. I just moved it to the top.
No, this one you added it. Actually, what you did, and I didn't check, but I'm pretty sure that's what you did.
I don't
You,
know what I did, but basically when I click it, nothing happens.
yeah, no, because what you did was basically add a drop down, which is from Search and Filter Pro, which is supposed to filter this thing, but which is not connected to this thing. It's basically an alias to the things that we have on the left-hand side. So I had two comments on this. The first one, and we will open it in Elementor to check that my suspicions are right. I think it's just it's not a menu. It's
Filter.
it's a filter from Search and Filter Pro. I think. Yeah, you see, it's a it's a it's an advanced filtering from Search and Filter Pro, like this one, but it's not doing its thing on the list. So basically, it's useless. So we remove it. What you want it to do probably was to add something like what we had on the shop page, which opens the categories of the products, the product types, the other pages directly instead of filtering. Am I right?
Correct.
Okay, so for that you need to go to menu and add and basically add a menu. But first we have to check if we have a menu for that, which I'm not sure. So let's see. So at the moment we have the protect. You see, that's the menu we have. Digital product categories, desktop, mobile, top, and the top menu, which is the main menu. For instance, the one we use on the shop page, it's this one.
Oh, so I need to create a new menu.
Yeah, we have to create a new menu. Let me see. On mobile, if you remember, we also added some non-clickable title, so that those ones are actually showing under this one. They are collapsible under this one. So yeah, so we would need to have to have a menu for the product types, which is probably a custom taxonomy. Yeah, that's those ones, I guess.
No, I think it'd be food types. Food types.
Yeah. Sorry, food type. Those
Yeah,
ones.
these ones. Yeah,
Those
just
ones.
those.
Okay, so we need to create a new menu, which will be called food types. Okay, so I create a menu, empty for now, and then I have to add those things to the. So I will select them all, and they are theoretically, yes, they are by alphabetical order, so that's fine. So now I save it. So now I will.
Don't we have to add the top one that says pick a category?
I don't think that on desktop we needed that, but
Oh, okay.
so I'm just reloading the old page in Elementor because it's something that we created in the backend. So we have to reload the old page so that the modules understand that this thing does exist. And then we will go to. So we're here. Yeah, we can try to put it maybe like this and put it in the middle right here. So menu, menu, WordPress menu. It's a WordPress menu. Okay.
Okay.
And we would choose the food type. Okay. And yes, layout, vertical, drop down.
Cool.
See, and then
Hamburger.
unknown maybe.
Oh.
But that would be a drop down. Let me see because it's expanded, but theoretically, let me see if I open it in another page. Let's see if it's expanded or not. Might be expanded in the preview and not in the. Yeah, it's expanded, so we don't want the expansion. So it's there. Let me see. Drop down vertical. Okay, no, vertical is like that. Yeah, I mean, probably the best way to approach it would be to have indeed the the text at the top. So I'm going back to the menu. We'll just take the food type, and so here I have the food type, and I will add the custom link without any link, actually.
Mhm.
Called pick food type with a capitalized thing. Okay, so I'm adding that to the menu, but I'm putting that at the top, indenting everything. Yeah, remember that if you have a new food type, you have to add it manually from food type to the menu because
Right.
it will be added automatically. So now, if I go here, you see, I will have the drop down.
Oh, I don't see the
Oh,
page yet.
sorry for that. So now
Cute.
we have the drop down, and probably we can probably, let me reload this guy, and probably center it the way we did it for the other ones. Yeah. So, but I mean, in this case, it's obviously, to a certain extent, it's a duplicate of yeah, that's it, of what we have here. Here it's a direct access and a filter of the list, and here if you click on one of those, so we'll do it on the other side, on the page itself. uh, if I click on one of those, what it will do is direct me to the page. So if I click on can't, we're in can't.
Cool.
See, and I have
I
added
love it.
the blurb thing here.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was asking for. Awesome.
So it's been added. So it's just in the preview, I added the custom field, which was the short description, and I put it between the image and the button. And so now,
Yeah,
if you click on this, obviously you go to the page. I mean, this is the
page
same
where
thing we had before.
yeah, which
But,
is amazing.
so yeah, so now it's the menu is there, and theoretically, because we didn't restrict it, yeah, you have it. Ah, yeah. But it
The
was
mobile
already.
that one works, though,
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
click
yeah.
that in mobile.
But that one was on mobile, sorry, not mobile, on mobile. If we come back to the page, the structure. So how is it structured? So we've got this guy, and we will hide it on mobile because otherwise it would be a mess. Uh,
Yeah, that one you just added, we could hide because I liked how the mobile view looks.
yeah. But the mobile view, let me explain in a sec. So hide on mobile. So for the mobile view, what we have is another search and filter pro, but not the expanded button aspect, but the drop down. But it does what it does not the same thing. It doesn't do the same thing. Sorry, on
Right.
mobile. It does the same as this guy does on desktop, which is to filter the list under it. You see, it's a complete
Yeah.
different behavior. This one, when you click on something, you go to the page, which is another page with those products from Kibble, for instance.
Mhm.
Whereas this mobile drop down, when you click on Kibble, it loads the Kibbles under it. I would say that might be better on mobile because you don't want to reload gazillions of pages.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
We can just hide this one you just added on
yeah,
mobile, I guess.
I've just
Yeah.
made this so if now I just reload the page in the other tab, and I was on this tab actually. So
Yeah, I like that.
this one is the good one. So if you click on can, you see it's reloading the Ajax, and now we see the can stuff.
Cool.
Um, but yeah, I was actually on the wrong page when I was explaining everything in the abyss. So here I said that this guy here is the widget for mobile, which is hidden on desktop.
Mhm.
It's a search and filter pro filter. It's not a menu, whereas this
Mhm.
one is a menu. So this
Yeah.
one, when you click on something, you go to another page. And by the
Cool.
way, I think we just make the text a little bit bigger because it's a little bit tiny. So we want to do maybe 1.25 here would be better. Yeah, that's it.
Very cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
So that's on. So really, you have to integrate the difference between a filter and a menu, not the same behavior.
Okay.
That's it. So we did the integration of a blog post, change this. I showed you, but you have some homework to do it on your own, how to connect
Right.
the forms, newsletter signups, and contact form to Brevo SendinBlue. There is still one place in the admin where you have to go for the connection to SendinBlue, and I'm going to show it to you before we close.
Okay.
So we know that we have MemberPress for the membership of
The dog food.
site. So by the way, we will regenerate this because we're sharing publicly the key, so we have to regenerate it.
Okay. We'll
But this is
the webhook.
the one webhook, the one actually that I had originally from Make. So for this MemberPress connection, you need to create a dedicated scenario inside of Make called MemberPress to Brevo to put there a specific webhook. Okay, then save the webhook, and to activate the data structure of this webhook, you need to sign up as a random user to one of the places where you use MemberPress. So like the dog food or just the login to the site basically. But you need one sign up to trigger the green data structure recognized in Make. You see, so you have basically three different webhooks, I would say, at the moment that you need to create. One for the conventional one field email sign up, one for the contact form, and one for MemberPress. Okay, three
Right.
different scenarios.
Okay.
But
Makes sense.
always you need to trigger with the first sign up the activation of the webhook so that Make understands the structure of what's coming through the webhook. Because a webhook technically is just a big URL like that, where all the data that's coming from the form is transferred through the URL. So usually what they do is they add like a question mark, email equals, this kind of thing. But it's added on the fly depending on what's coming from this webhook. So here it will be the data that you get from MemberPress, which is first name, last name, email, and maybe some other question that you can ask. You see?
Yep.
So that's the idea. So 3 webhooks, 3 scenarios, 3 activations. That's what you need to do for to connect your site to Brevo SendinBlue.
Or if somebody watching was using a different email, like let's say they were using MailerLite that already is in WordPress, they could just select that instead of doing the webhook, correct?
Not for MemberPress, because as you see, we had to use the webhook even when we tried to do MailerLite. It was the same, okay? Because MailerLite was integrated to Elementor natively, but not to MemberPress. You needed to use the developer thing. Otherwise, you need to use Zapier, which is integrated to MemberPress, and then Zapier itself is integrated to MailerLite. But there's no direct connection between MemberPress and MailerLite.
Interesting. Okay.
But we use the webhook solution because that's the one we use with Make instead of Zapier. You see?
Yeah.
That's the reason why.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah.
It's good.
So I think that next time we'll continue on what was listed on your dog that you share with me. As you can see here, we had this dog here, which was the secondary image of the last post. You see, the Amazon Pet Finds. So that's the purpose of the secondary image that we had in the back end. So if
Ah.
I come back here, And obviously this guy should be not square but rectangle to just kill the thing. So you don't see it here, but if you edit the post, you will see it at the bottom. It's like a custom field called
Oh, the
feed
feed
image.
image. Okay, that makes sense.
And this one is the one that we use on the home page as an alternative to the blog page. Because if we go on the blog page, which is the other page where we see the blogs, there we use the rectangle. You see this one.
Yeah.
That's a
Ah,
little
okay,
bit.
that makes sense. So that's the featured image, and then
Yeah.
the on the homepage we'll use the feed image.
Yeah, and as you can see, the pet product category was added here. Uh,
Oh yeah, that's the one we just added.
yeah,
Cool.
and theoretically, if this thing works, you see, if I click on pet products, I just have this post. If I click
Oh,
on
I see.
training, I've got the training post
Cool.
and the pet products. And if I
Yeah,
all
see,
category,
that'll be cool because, like, basically, next time what we could do is under the, like, the menu header for training and nutrition,
Mhm,
we'll create a landing page. Maybe I'll practice on my own
mhm,
where it basically just would pull all the like for training, it'd pull all just the training blogs. And then I would have a YouTube playlist that I would make on YouTube that would just be training. And then we could pull the YouTube playlist in with that integration we did. And that's
mhm.
what the landing page would be for training. And
Yeah,
so just be kind of pulling from this. Interesting.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The only thing you need to do if you want to have a different landing page with a subset of
Blog.
posts, let's say here we are for instance on the blog page, so it's a page, so I just added it with Elementor, and it will consist of a few elements. You can clone the page as a starting point for another page also to just go quick. You just go to the pages. So if I
Right. In the WordPress. Yeah.
go to pages here in WordPress, you see I've got here my blog page somewhere, I guess. I think it is the one we call learn actually. But if you clone it, you see, you clone it here,
Mhm.
then
Okay.
it can be a starting point. So then when you have the same, you just change the title here, just change the intro blurb there, you just change my latest blog post by my latest training post or whatever. And here, instead of having in the feed, in the filter, or in the query, um, where is it? Query. Yeah. Okay. At the moment, the query, because we use this filtering thing, you see here on the left
Mhm.
hand side, the query is Search and Filter Pro query because it's basically connected to this widget on the left hand side. If you didn't have this widget, because it would be something solely dedicated to training, for instance,
Right.
what you would do is just say, I want to do from post type.
Mhm.
Okay. Then I want to pick from post type the post type which is post, you know,
Mhm.
and I want to filter the query by terms and taxonomies, category, and then you say,
Type in training.
then you choose training, for instance. I guess it will appear training.
Cool.
Now would just be the training ones. But then you don't have this widget, so just you just delete
Yeah.
in the clone version this column and just put something else for the YouTube video. But that's the concept. But now, in the version that we have currently, the query is Search and Filter Pro
Mhm.
because it's connected to this widget.
Right, right. That makes sense.
That's it.
Cool. Yeah. No, that's amazing. Yeah, so I'll work on that actually. I'll see if I can't build it. And then there's probably a couple more things we can work on next time, but we made a lot of progress.
Yeah, quite a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Quite a lot
Really,
of
we're
stuff.
getting more efficient each time.
Yeah. I mean, you understand also intuitively what I'm talking about, so which is obviously better. That's nice. Great. 1 hour four. Actually, we're always around the 1 hour 14, 1 hour 13 minute ballpark. So
Yeah.
that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Cool. So that will be the end for today. We'll be back next week for another session. We have 2 sessions to go before we go live.
I'm so excited.
Thank you, Rachel. Have a
Thank
nice
you.
weekend. Bye
You
bye.
too.